Hi, how are you doing today? How's everyone doing on this Friday, July 22nd, 2022? Okay, let's get ready for this weekly card reading. I was like just thinking, I always grab this deck. This is the deck I usually use. I'm gonna use it again. I think I need new decks, but like I've just had, I've stopped using a bunch of decks that were like more like archangels and stuff like that because I don't resonate with that anymore. But we're gonna be using this one and then this one as well. So let's get started. Oh wait, yeah. Let's do the energy clearing. I just like doing that. I know it's very mainstream like spirituality, but and I'm not mainstream spirituality, but I just love the smell. And it just I don't know, it just kind of does change the environment a little bit. So yeah, anyway. Um, how has your week been? I have had such an amazing week, so many realizations and what's it called? Like I think I've discovered so many things and had like breakthroughs and yeah, it's just been a really great week. So, okay, let's start with the Wizard's Tarot deck. A second, I'm gonna shuffle it a little bit. Let's see. What was I? I was gonna say something. I was just thinking about it right before I started recording. Oh yeah. Yes, I was just thinking about how sometimes I don't know if it happens to you guys, but it happens to me quite a bit, where I feel like I'm communicating telepathically with certain people, and not necessarily at their, I guess, consciousness level in this reality, but in another realm, if that makes sense. It's like you're communicating with other aspects of them, or maybe another level of consciousness, or maybe sometimes you do match and you're actually communicating, and both of you may understand what you're saying. But what I feel like it's like I've been having that lately, where I got this really strong message the other day when I got this like message from someone, and I feel like even in this reality that they know that I know what's going on. It's like, yeah, I know that you know that I know that you know that I and then like thinking that can go on and on and on. But yeah, it was so funny because I'm like, yeah, I think this person knows that I know, how what's going on with them. And yeah, because it's situations where I've decided either the relationship was not working, or that it's not going to work, but oh well, we can still be friends, right, kind of thing. And hold on. There's a card that fell. You know what, I'm just gonna take the first card that fell, which is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, let me just put in the light a little bit. Oh my gosh, this light. Okay, I know I have to like improve my lighting at some point, but I'm pretty sure you can see that. Okay. Oh, anyway, this Four of Pentacles right here. I'm gonna lay it on the side. Yeah, so stuff like that, and I was like communicating with this person. I was like, yeah, I know that you know that I know that everything's okay, and yeah, that yeah. Sometimes when you're, I guess, in the higher realms, there's no feeling of guilt or shame or grudges and stuff, because when we're focusing on this 3D reality, and with our filters and our own traumas and everything, we tend to feel things towards certain people, that when you're actually you eliminate that, and you're not going through your ego, which is not necessarily, the ego is not a bad thing. It's just you got to learn how to, I guess, not necessarily always act from that. So yeah, when you're like focusing on this 3D reality, you have certain situations where you're thinking, oh, this person did this to me, so I'm still feeling it and I'm upset, but it's all based on your trauma, really. And once you really tune in and like really focus on your 0 point, and you delete all the filters and everything, you get this feeling of pure unconditional love. And you're like, okay, you know what, I know that you know that everything is okay. That's what I was thinking the other day with I've done this with a few people lately, and it's really funny because I'm like, yeah, it's true. We don't have to hold grudges against anyone for whatever happened. And in the end, we're all still connected anyway. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that's been coming through lately. So I've learned to appreciate the metaphysical relationships much more than the 3D relationships, because it's like you feel things about people, right? And you don't have to have the proof of it in physical reality. Like, let's say there's a person that you feel is very present, that you think about a lot. That's probably because they're thinking about you as well. You might not be thinking about each other the same way, but there's obviously a connection there. So, and if you cultivate that relationship in the metaphysical, then it's like you don't even need for that person to write you and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you," or "Hey, I like your story," or your post or whatnot. You just know that the person is there. So that's pretty much what I need now. It's like, or not need, but what I like is having that, and like having that gratitude for that presence, and not looking for more than that. If that, especially if that person is not able to give you that in the physical reality, you know what I mean? Because they might be there, always in the metaphysical, but not necessarily here. So yeah, that happens, right? It's like sometimes we've got to appreciate that we do have these connections that we don't necessarily see or feel physically, but that are always there. Oh my gosh, okay, 3 cards fell out. Let me go grab them. Hold on 1 second. Just dropping them. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got the another one that fell. Ace of Pentacles. And I'll say what they mean here in a bit for this reading. The Temperance. Oh, I've been getting this card so much lately. This is so important, this Temperance card. The Five of Cups. What was I just talking about too? Is that sometimes in the physical, we're like, woohoo, this person isn't writing me, or I didn't get the answer I expected. But we've got to pay attention to what's happening in the metaphysical too. And we got the Knight of Wands. Oh, I got this card. Okay, so this is funny because I did a reading for myself, and 3 of these cards are the same. So I'm assuming some of you tuning in are obviously tuning into the same energies because of the same cards popping out. Okay, and then let's see if we have one more. Just maybe one more. There we go. Oh, the 3 of Swords. And this one was in reverse. Okay, so all right, and then the first one for you guys. So we got 3 people. Hi there. How are you guys doing today? All right, so this is Friday's intuitive reading, and the first card was the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on right here. I just kind of like, whoa, that's a lot. There's a lot of like contradicting energies, and but that's not a bad thing. It's just that, yeah, it's like, okay, so this is the feeling I get, is that we know that there's a part of us focused on the 3D that's like, ooh, oh my goodness, like why are things happening to me, and this sucks, but then there's like this energy, this really powerful energy of like, oh, I've got this, everything is balanced, yeah, I don't have to worry about anything, it's like, yeah, like I said, you got this. And then the fact that the 3 of Swords, this one it came in reverse. To me, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe we're going through a little bit of maybe a break, a heartbreak, or something not so positive that happened, but it doesn't affect us as much as it used to before, perhaps. For most of you, most of you maybe are still kind of battling between this. Should I let it get to me or not? Why am I letting it get to me if it doesn't matter? But it's really not like, yeah. And then we got the Ace of Pentacles right here. It's like, for me, this one, just looking at them, because this is intuitive card reading. It's not really tarot, although these cards are based on the tarot. But yeah, this one is like the hand, like, you got it. It's very, to me, these two kind of go together. It's like, we don't really need to worry about what's happening here so much in this 3D plane, but more on what we know is actually happening elsewhere. I just had yesterday, I had this moment where I was sitting I was going somewhere, sitting in the metro, and I was like, "Oh, wow, this reality really is a game," and I'm taking it. Sometimes I take it too seriously, regardless of the fact that I just know, like intuitively or I guess mentally, that it's not. It's not supposed to be taken as seriously, but I know I get into moments where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with this situation?" And then it's like, oh, so and then I have in my hand right now this one, the Knight of Wands, which is like this to me is an energy of like, oh yes, I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go fast, and it's very fiery energy and all, but sometimes it can get caught up also in let's see, like being very reactive, like yeah, not really taking into account that there is like I said, something else going on in another plane. So yeah, it's like you sometimes feel maybe a little stuck, so it's like, okay, well, but that these two, I think, for me, go together. It's like, oh, you're going really fast, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like, am I really going anywhere, or like did I just get blocked by something? But but no, you did not. Like, here, maybe because you were going a little too fast, perhaps, or you wanted to get things to get to another level before they needed to be at another level, based on when you're where you're at in your journey here. Because I love to like do the zoom in zoom out thing, where you're like, okay, I zoom in and I see what I'm doing here, and here everything works a lot through emotions, and knowing how to, like, I guess, navigate those emotions, but also connecting it with the mind, and or logic, I would say, and not always letting yourself be overtaken by your emotions or overwhelmed by your emotions, because that's also not a good idea. And so, yeah, I mean, and then you're like, and then sometimes you can be like this, you know but like I said before, it's like there's this whole, like, there's like different levels to this card reading. It's like, focus on, it's like there's a 3D, and then there's a metaphysical, and going on like different levels. And I know that when we're talking about these things, sometimes it can sound kind of contradicting, because you're like saying, yeah, like, for example, you're so powerful and you've got this, and la la la, but then all the stuff that happens to you in this reality, it's like, oh no, you're not. Look at you, you're like suffering over someone or something, or yeah, a situation. But what's going on really, like, elsewhere, this is it, I wouldn't pay attention too much to the infinity sign. Personally, I don't resonate with that sign too much anymore. It's like a loop. It keeps you in loops. I don't want to, be in loops anymore. Why would I want to do that? But this one just, it kind of just reminds me more of that power of the temperance, is more like about balance, and so these cards do have a little bit of like programming in them, I know. And that's why I was like, I need to buy more cards too, because I just see all the programming in the previous ones, and that just shows how much we can evolve, right? And change our perception, and something that might have been good for us, or that we might have seen as, let's say, yeah, above, or you know ourselves even. It's like, no, that's doesn't resonate as much anymore. So that happens. And but yeah, that's why we have to, like, that's why I like to specify sometimes, when I'm like, oh yeah, I like this about that, but not so much this part. And I think we have to do that with everything, right? It's like some stuff, yeah, it's like, yeah, that definitely no, but other stuff, it's like, okay, I like this but not that. And I think that that's okay. I think some people are really quick to judge, and are like, oh, she does card readings and or something, and she's probably like, mainstream spirituality, or she lives in the matrix, or not even, but like, because card readers don't usually live in the matrix, but or whatever. But yeah, I know, you know what I mean. But so I hope I got my point across about the whole, like, not judging people like for what they do, but really reading into their energy. And there's an energy encryption behind a person. What I mean by energy encryption is not just what you see, or what you can maybe predict, or say objectively based on what they're doing at that moment, but like really getting to know the person and feeling into where they're coming from. and why they're doing what they're doing, not just because someone said, oh, this is bad, so they must be bad. But what do you feel, right? What is your opinion about the person or the theory or the technique that you're looking into? And if it serves you, good, and it teaches you something, then you should go for it. So anyway, let's pull out some other cards here. From this other wisdom of the oracle. I think this one is probably the most neutral deck that I have, that I can't say it's like, oh, there's some programming in there, because the images are just really beautiful. And there's all like, wait, that was okay. So a few came out. I'm gonna have to go and get the other ones. We've got this one, the Observer. It's like, oh my goodness. Hey, here's another fox, Jovan. We've been getting so many we've been getting so many red foxes. That is so funny. So, yes, we've got to be the observer a lot of times, right? It's step back, be more of like, okay, well, I'm looking at what is happening. I'm not going to react directly to what I feel or think right now. I need to process this and take your time, right? Because you don't want to act through your instincts or your impulses. You want to like have this balance, right? Anyway, let me go get the other cards. All right, these are the three other ones that came out. So we got this one, the Observer. Come to the edge. We got this one right there. Peace. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, peace. Oh, see, we got, okay. So see, we got this one. It's very similar. It's very similar to this one. You see that? So it's like this feeling of like, yeah, nothing is going the way I really wanted it to, or I expected it to go in this physical reality. But it's like I was saying at the beginning, there are a lot of things going on in the metaphysical that you're not really maybe seeing, but that are happening. And sometimes you can feel into it. And when you're tuning into that, you find that peace that you need. Because really that's where you're at in another realm. It's like you don't have to worry about anything, because this is just a game, really, right? So like you may wake up somewhere like another another dimension tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but I mean that could totally happen. I was like thinking that the other day. I'm like, why am I even so stressed out about what's happening here? Yes, take it seriously, as in like, okay, I'm gonna be responsible, I'm gonna respect other people, and I'm gonna be happy. And I'm going to enjoy it to my fullest, but I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen the next day, right? Why worry? So, and then come to the edge. So this one is about taking risks, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, do take the risks that feel like they might be frightening sometimes, but you've got to learn to differentiate when frightening in a way that it's going to bring you something good. Because you see that the emotions that are elicited through being frightened are very similar through being like heightened, in terms of your like physically, in terms of the toxins, the chemicals that are released in the brain and everything. It's very similar to when you're excited about doing something, right? Think about, let's see if anybody does like racing or the competition of any kind. It's like you're scared, right? The race is going to start, or the competition, or the match is going to start, and you're very scared. But in reality, you're like, if you switch that to you're excited, then it just kind of completely changes everything. And that's what coaches do a lot, is like, okay, guys, let's go. This is going to be a great game. And then you get all excited. That's very similar to the emotions that you feel when you're frightened. So, you know what I mean? And then also the other way around, when you are bored, it could be very similar to feeling sad. So sometimes when you don't have much to do, you interpret that perhaps as feeling sad, but it's really just you're not really maybe motivated because you haven't found something that really fulfills you. So what to do there, right? It's not maybe about feeling sorry about yourself, just maybe going out there and doing something. There are many nuances to this. I'm just giving a very simple example about the emotion thing, but okay, yeah, it's it's not simple. It's not just saying it's this or that. But in any case, I think this is a great example of like this card. It's like come to the edge, and but you know that something is going to happen on the other side that's going to be great and it's going to bring you joy and fulfillment. It might not be instantaneous, it might take a little time. And that's why, you're going to be the observer for a while and see. Also, this also reminds me of like research, you know? Yeah, the fox and research as well. Yeah, see, we've got like so many codes behind foxes lately. It's so interesting. So this is like look and see what trends you find, or what are the things that are really working for you, and yeah, and take note, right? So yeah, and I guess, I mean, that's for me, that's the message here for today. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me a message on here, or on Instagram, or on my website. You know where to find me. So yeah, I think that's good. And so I'll see you guys again next week for the intuitive reading next Friday. And I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Bisous.